Hey, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Give me a sound check, please. Type if you can hear me in the question box. This is Boris with Kathy and Jenna. I'm so happy to have you guys with us on our special Surge kickoff trading contest. Anthony, thank you. Craig, thank you. Matthew, everybody's good? Everybody's good? Okay, wonderful. Wonderful. Are you guys seeing us on screen yet? Are you seeing us on the webcam? Let me see if that's good. You know, I'm the ugly one in the middle. Okay, that's precisely. See, I'm there for comparison purposes. Don't worry, I'll go off screen very soon, so I don't have to scare your young children. Don't worry. Yes, very good. Brett, everybody sees us. Wonderful, wonderful. So we're very excited to have you guys here. Thank you so much for showing up. You know, 6 p.m. It's 6 a.m. in SIG, right? Anybody from Asia with us today? Just yet? And anybody crazy enough in Europe to stay up late enough to hang out with me? The Raymond is with us. Hey, Raymond, good to see you. Good to see you. Raymond is here. Who's here from Europe? What is it? 10 o'clock in UK? Where is it? Not that many Europeans. Okay, awesome. All right.
Yeah, it looks like everyone can see us. Can you hear me? Hi, everyone. It's Kathy. Yes. Hello.
Ooh, nice pings over there. All right, we're definitely getting nice sound. Hi guys. Hi Ayana. Nice to see you. Very good. We're very excited. We're just waiting. We're just letting people come into the room a little bit, guys. So so we don't have to start and repeat everything all over again. But don't worry. Okay, it looks like we're really starting to build the flow here. We got a great show. No time pressure. We'll hang out with you as long as you want. Any questions you guys have, we'll answer anything and everything under the sun. So don't worry. It's effectively Sunday night for us today because it's a holiday in the U.S. So even though it's Monday, it feels like a Sunday. Equity markets U.S. were pretty closed. Everything is just kind of starting to wake up. I actually have an interesting tip for you about holiday trading today, which when I do my presentation I'll share with you. 11 p.m. UK. Stuart, you're the man. Stuart, you are truly a committed trader to hang out with us that late at night. Yes, the box is working. You can ask us any questions you like, and feel free to ask questions while we're talking. I'll probably be the one answering them. So if I'm talking, I'll wait, and then when Kathy is talking, I'll answer. Okay, we're almost ready to go. I'll give it one more minute. We're still building up. We're above 200. We'll get to like 225 on the attendees, and then I'll let us open the room here. I have Jenna with us on the left here. She's got lots of fancy cars and lots of fancy screens over there. We're going to be there. You're going to see us there end of this week. So very excited to come visit them in the pit, in the actual pit.
Yeah, and we're going to have some very exciting events we're going to be sharing with you. This is the kickoff for the Surge trading contest, but Boris and I will also be trading live, on video, which we have never done before from a trading pit at the end of this week. So look out for links. We're going to live stream the Asia session live trading, the New York session live trading, and hopefully then the markets will be kind to us.
Exactly. Yeah. See, and Jenna's got, like, off camera, she's got a Lamborghini, and if you look behind my shoulder to my right, I have a bicycle. So that just kind of tells you where we're at.
That's because my Lamborghini would get stuck in traffic all day in New York City.
That's true. It's true. You would not. You really don't want to be driving a Lambo in the middle of New York. It's just torture.
Yeah.
Oh, Perth, Australia. Good morning. Good day to you all, my Aussie friends. We love our Aussie friends. What is it? It's like 8 o'clock in the morning. It's decent time. See, we made it. The only people who really hurt when we do this is Europe, but somebody's got to pay, and it's the British Empire, so you're always going to have to pay. That's it. Anyways, guys, thank you again for coming. We're so excited to start the show. We're going to turn the mic over to Jenna, who has been our most generous host here, and she's going to give you the lowdown about Surge and about us, and we're happy to begin the show. So Jenna, take it away.
Thank you, Boris. Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to have you guys here. I'd like to officially welcome you to the January Trading Contest Kickoff webinar. If you have never seen or met me, I am Jana Seaman, the founder of SurgeTrader, and I love that you guys are joining us from all over the world. Tonight, I'm joining you from sunny but very chilly this week, as Kathy can attest to, Naples, Florida. So if it ever drops below 75 degrees here, we're all complaining and whining. So hopefully it warms up before you guys come down this week. It's supposed to warm back up. Excited to be kicking this contest off tonight with global trading experts Kathy Lean and Boris Schlossberg. Not only are they the founders of BKForex.com, but they are also both well known as analysts for CNBC and as experts in their field. We've brought them in to partner with you, our surge traders, during our January trading contest to help equip you with new trading skills and to help take your trading to the next level. Make sure you stay connected throughout this trading contest, because they're going to be bringing you tons of value to your trader, to you as a trader, and to help elevate your trading skills to the next level. And as Kathy mentioned, they're actually flying from the big city down to little baby Naples, Florida later this week, and they're going to be doing trading live from the SurgeTrader home base, which is called the Pit here in Naples, Florida. So I want to hand it off to you guys now. Kathy, who is known as the Queen of Fundamentals, and Boris, the Systems Master, and we are ready for you guys just to teach us everything that you know.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much kindly for your introduction.
You know, we have a lot of history, Surge. What's, Boris and I, for those of you that are BK members, may know that we're very selective with the partners that we work with. And, one of the founders, Dana's husband, was actually one of our very first BK members. He's been a member for more than a decade. So we've known him for a very long time. He's a real trader. The whole business is filled with people who really know what traders need and traders want. And so we were very happy to be able to kind of bring this relationship forward and show you how we can help you not only participate and thrive in this trading competition, but also develop the skills to have consistent profits and be able to become, gain the financial freedom, which is what we all hope from trading. So, today is kind of the kickoff of events. We're going to give you a tease of, what we do, but over the next couple of weeks, you get to participate in a lot of what we do. You get to see how, we make trades every single day, and hopefully that will help you in your trading journey.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, we're very, very excited. So I think we're ready to roll. The room is kind of full. I'm going to go off camera and we're going to start the show. I'm going to go full screen on the PowerPoint so you guys can actually see this show. So let me want to stop sharing my webcam, leave the ladies on, and go to full present mode in the screen. So here's our trading contest. Okay. So wonderful. We're going to start with our show, with the January Trading Contest kickoff. First and foremost, let's talk about the rules, which are really amazing. The trading contest is January 17 to January 31st. And if you know anything, and I've sort of really dug deep into the world of prop trading over the last 6 months, so I've become kind of a mini expert in what everybody else does. And you know that almost everybody has very, very difficult passageways. So typically the rule is 10%. You got to make 10% without drawing down 5%. And people also have daily drawdowns as well, usually sometimes as low as 3% on a daily drawdown. So those are actually much harder barriers to maintain or to break than you would think. What's really, really cool about the trading rules in this particular contest, and the fact that Surge has actually made this true for their evaluation.
Boris, sorry, I hate to cut you off, but you're not sharing your screen yet.
Oh, thank you. Sorry. This is why I have you, Kay. Okay.
Well, I thought I was lost and I couldn't find what you're sharing. Perfect.
No. Sorry. Let me go into audience view and just make sure you guys are seeing it. You're right. There we go. Okay. So I'm yapping. But, okay. Very good. Thank you. There's a very common mistake with GoTo. I always do this. Okay. Anyway, so my point is regular rules, 10% up, 5% down, sometimes 3% down. Those are really hard to break. for this contest, and actually in evaluation phase, real evaluation phase for this whole month, Surge is doing something I think extraordinary. I have not seen this in anybody, in any of the prop firms out there, give such generous terms, which is 10% up, 8% drop down. That is almost even money. I mean, somebody gives you even money in trading, that's like manna from heaven. It's amazing. So really, really great terms and rules here to start you off. Very, very generous, gives you lots and lots of room and breathing space to trade, to take risk without being afraid of getting stopped out. All those things. I think it's really, really neat. So 8% drawdown. The daily loss goes from 4% to 5%. Also a very, very generous thing. If you're losing 5% on a day, man, you're doing something wrong. And we'll talk about that as we go through the presentation. And last but not least, flat for the weekend, which is the way I like to be also as well. So that's pretty much the main basic rules. There's just a couple of other things that are part of the contest that I wanted to just show you. Let me see if I can go to the next one. You need to put a stop on all your trades, as you should in real life, which is a very, very good rule, because if you're trading without a stop, you're basically trading without a plan. And last but not least, you have a 10 lot position, open risk lot position on 100,000 account. So this is like, I'm just basically using a $100,000 account as the baseline for how I want to compare. What that means in real life is if you put a position on at 10 lots, right? And let's say that position goes in your favor, and then you put the stop at break even. Well, once you put a stop at break even, you no longer have that risk on the books, and you can open another position at 10 lots. You should never, ever be opening a position at 10 lots. It's another conversation piece I'll have with you guys. So this is way more generous than you need to be as far as risk control. But the point is that even if you want to do something like this, once you are in the money and protected your position, you can actually open more than 10 lots. So this is something that a lot of people don't quite understand about the rule that I thought was interesting to let you guys know. But that's basically it. Those are the key trading rules that the contest is set up. Now, in the first place, $100,000 addition account, $1,000 cash, and most importantly, no, actually not most importantly, but also super nice, a 1-year VIP BKForex membership, of which there are enormous amount of additional values of having the VIP BKForex membership, which I'll tell you about a little bit later. So that's a great thing to do if you're going to be in the first place. In the second place, you get a $50,000 addition account, meaning that if you pass, you will then be able to trade with $50,000 live money. And the good thing about Surge, the really, really cool thing about Surge, is Surge trades actually real live money. They don't trade fake money on their payout accounts. And then finally, in third place, $25,000 addition account and a 3-month BK membership. So hopefully you guys will enjoy it. The trading prices are really nice, and winning them will really give you some great advantages. Okay, you want to take it from here?
I think you might have skipped the fact that the first place winner, Boris, gets a $1,000 cash prize as well, which is a very generous offer. I mean, what's really, a lot of companies these days have trading contests, and some of you may be participating in multiple trading contests at a time. But as Boris indicated, what we really like about the Surge contest is that there are much more generous drawdown and daily loss rules than you have seen in some of the other contests. It's a little bit more shortened, so that gives you, really the opportunity to do this quickly and, really reap the rewards quickly if you're in the first, second, or third place. But it's also very exciting because we're jam packing you with a lot of information. You don't need to commit an entire month to really learn the process. So the prizes are great, but what's really valuable is the fact that you're going to Surge really has the customer in mind. So they've basically asked us to help give the tips and tools that we think will help traders succeed in this market. And that's where we want to talk about how we can help you win. So if you go to the next slide, the way what we're going to do is over the next 2 weeks, we're going to be in the markets with you and giving you the resources that we use to trade every single day. Last year was a terrible year for the equity markets. If any of you were investing or trading, and especially if you were in crypto, you probably got hosed. with Boris and my strategy with my zip trades, we made 4,200 pips unlevered in Forex trades. And Boris has been consistently profitable with very little drawdown, actually pretty much no drawdown over the past year. So our tools and our strategies work very well for us, and that's what we're hoping to share with you, not only today, but also to show you how they work in live market environments over the next 2 weeks. So how will we help you win? First and foremost, we give you access to our exclusive indicators. These are trading view indicators that we've developed, and these indicators are indicators that we've used for a very long time, and they are easy. They help us provide easy to identify trade signals. So with the market, a lot of times if you put enough indicators in your charts, you can convince yourself of anything. But we've designed our indicators to really keep it simple, stupid, in a sense that it's very easy to read. And when there's a trade, it signals when the trade is happening. And most importantly, it helps keep you out of bad trades that may be tempting. And that's what we really excel at, and that's what we're going to share with you. Now, in addition to providing you access to our trading indicators, we will live trade with you. I'm still on the other one, Boris. We will live trade with you. So many people will share with you their robots, their indicators, but very few will really show you how they work and how they are adapted in real market environments. And if you follow me on Twitter, I don't hide behind past trades. I post real-time trade calls, Boris trades live, and that's what you're going to see. You're going to see how to trade real market environments, which is valuable if you're a new trader or if you are a seasoned trader looking for new ideas. And on top of that, we're going to prepare you for the market with our weekly fundamental market huddle, where we talk about the big events on a fundamental basis, where we talk about how countries and economies are doing and which way to lean on whether you should be bullish or bearish, the euro or the US dollar in the week ahead. And we provide the reasons for why we're thinking the euro might sell off, a dollar might sell off in the week ahead. And so it's really nice to understand and start learning about how you can fuse fundamentals with technicals to select the highest probability trades.
Okay, guys, we're gonna stop. Okay, I'm gonna stop you for just 1 sec because we need to do the updated version. I gotta change the. Just bear with me a second, guys. I'm going to
maybe you
make
want
sure
to
that I
pause
have
your speed for a minute while you look for it, Boris.
No, I got it. I already got it. I just
Okay.
I'm just gonna put it on here. Just 1 second. Here we go. Yes. So winners circle this right here. And
So
which one?
is
Is this the slide? Is this the slide you were on? Okay.
In our experience, and we worked with tens of thousands of traders in the 50 years of combined trading experience that we have found that 95% of traders, they come to the market, they don't know what to trade, how to trade, and most importantly, how to keep their wins and their profits once they have them. And that's really why there is that statistic where 95% of traders end up failing, end up losing money because they don't know what to trade, how to trade, and how to keep their wins. So to help you be able to wrap your head around it, we are going to share with you 2 simple proven strategies to help make you money consistently. Now, before we get into those strategies, there are 3 things that you will need to do. And I want to make you aware of this. After this webinar, we're going to send you a recording of this video. In the recording, in the email that we will send you, we will also include instructions on how to install our zip and bounce indicator. So the step number 1 is to, once you get our email, is to install the zip and bounce indicators. I promise you, it's so easy. This is TradingView. So all you need to do, and we got a little installation video. All you need to do is to click on the link that we provide you. It will connect you to those indicators. And I believe it's going to appear in your My Indicators section, right, Boris?
I gave you step-by-step instructions on all of this, but you're gonna just click on the link, add it to favorites, and then simply add the indicator to your charts. I show you how to do all of this in the videos. I created 2 YouTube videos for everybody to see. They're 5 minutes each, and I couldn't have made it any easier for you. It requires nothing but just simply a click of a link and attach it to the chart. If you have any problems, I'll help you tomorrow in our live trading session, but it should be very easy for you to get access to this. This is literally the latest, the greatest, the most updated versions of both of our full functioning versions of our indicators. So very, very excited to share this with you. It's something that Surge has graciously basically made available to you guys. We only make it available to nobody in TradingView world has access to these indicators except people who are in our room. So that this will be a lot of fun for you guys to get to play with them. So yes, it's going to be very
Step number 2 is to watch our latest Monday market huddle, because we've got a lot of big events that are coming up this week. We have the Bank of Japan meeting, we've got the US retail sales report, we've got a tremendous amount of data from the UK. So since today is Monday already, and we did our Monday market huddle, I've provided you with the latest outlook on a fundamental basis. And when it comes to next Monday, we'll provide you a link for the live session, but make sure you watch our Monday market huddle. It's not very long, but it's jam-packed with good information. And the last and probably the most important thing that you need to do is to click on that link to join our live trading room. Boris live trades every Tuesday to Friday from 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. So tomorrow at the New York Open, you will see how we put our trading strategies into action. It's another go-to webinar link. Make sure you click on it. Once you register once, it's going to register you for everything, so you don't need to worry about it. But make sure you that is the most important thing that you do when you get our email tonight with all of those instructions.
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
With that, let's talk about your trading goals. Want to go ahead, Boris?
Sure. So the key to winning in trading, period, but certainly to winning a prop trading account, because that's what prop trading firms really want you to do, is to have steady daily gains and to control your risk through size. This is something that I think most amateur traders really don't appreciate. They think that it's sort of like the bigger you bet, the more money you're going to make, and the faster you're going to get to your goals. That's literally probably the fastest way to blow out. Both, if you're driving fast on a highway or if you are trading fast in the markets. You could get lucky. You could have a couple of good weeks, even sometimes a couple of good months, but that luck never lasts, because the key to really trading well is to really, really control the risk. And there's only one way. There is literally no other way to control risk in trading except controlling size, meaning that you want to trade small all the time. It's better to trade small and steady than large and wild. And the last thing I think that's really important, this is you'll see this very well explained and demonstrated on a day in, day out basis. I think I've done easily 10,000 live trades, over the course of we've been doing live trading literally since the pandemic, right? So what is that, 3 years already of that's 1,000 days, and I probably do, let's say 5,000 because I do, let's say, 5 live trades a day. So yeah. In addition to which, of course, I trade continuously throughout the day, and you can watch my trades live all the time. But the point is that when you do so many trades, you realize that there is no single trade that matters. There's no 10 trades that matter. There's no 100 trades that matter. And Kathy has the exact same attitude. She's done also thousands and thousands of trades. The reason she made 42% last year and I made 35% over the last 4 months, while the market has just gone down by 30% and people have, lost 80% in crypto, is precisely because we don't really care about any single trade. That's one of the most important things when you're setting your trading goals, and hopefully one of the things that you guys will get a chance to see in practice. It's easy for somebody like me to talk about this in theory, but it's important for you to see how this works in practice, how this works with Kathy in practice, so that you truly understand that the key to this game is not about winning a trade, but about having a winning trading system. One of the most important things of what not to do, because it's easy to talk about what you should be doing, one of the most important things what not to do is to take one big lottery ticket trade, right? I mean, that's sort of like a very common thing. And a lot of people who, back when we were at FXCM, we used to run this contest called King of the Mini, right? King of the Mini. And it was sort of like the same idea. We would give people money, they would win the contest, and they would win a couple of $1,000, sometimes $5,000 on the thing. Now, we would run them for a short time. So here's what I want you to understand. Literally nobody who won, this is we've had hundreds of winners over the times we were at FXCM. Literally nobody who won the King of the Mini went on to really have a good long trading career, because the way they all won the contest was just simply have a hunch, bet a bunch, just take one big trade, get lucky. And of course, luck never lasts. Luck never lasts. Skill is what lasts. So one big lottery ticket trade, that is really not what you want to do. Arbitrage and hedging is not trading, okay? If you're buying and selling at the same time, you're not trading. Trading is about risk. It's about assuming risk, absorbing risk, benefiting from risk. You don't get paid for being both long and short. You just simply waste money on commission on both sides of the trade, okay? There is no such thing as hedging. There's no such thing as arbitrage. There's always risk in the market. That's what gets you paid. And you need to learn how to assume risk, absorb risk, and control risk. And of course, bot and grid trading, which is really not legitimate trading also, because that's just simply a very, very longer term way of getting blown out. You're betting on the idea of martingaling, that eventually you're going to win. Now there's variations of this thing that will show you that actually work really well, but the pure bot grid trading, it's also a waste of time. I'm going to show you exactly what I do, and I'm actually going to show you variations of my trading plans that you might be able to want to use in this particular trading contest. I'll show you what we do on a day in, day out basis in our trading room, as well as variations, because the strategy that I have are really designed to give high frequency, high accuracy trades with exact buy and sell signals. Both Kathy and I never hide from our trades. When we give you a trade, it's always usually it's always at market, because both of our strategies enter at market, which means that we're coming in at market at whatever is the price at that given time, with a stop, with a target, no hiding. No, maybe I entered over here, but I kind of didn't exit over here. I waited a little longer. No, there's no fudging. There's hard, pure price on every single trade we make. As a matter of fact, you see all my trades live in the account. You can watch them, go up and down and get TP'd and get stopped and everything else. And the same with Kathy. She posts every one of her trades live, so you can totally see the signals as they come along. That's really, really critical to sort of being honest about how the markets work. Now, my particular strategy, bounce, which I'm going to share with you first, is very interesting because it's actually the same strategy working both ways. It can work as a continuation signal, and it can work as a reversal signal. So with the same analytical strategy, depending on how you want to orient yourself in the marketplace, how you view the market regime at that time, can either give you a buy signal or a sell signal, which is very interesting. It makes it very efficient for us to trade, because it allows us to simply have one single indicator, and it's just a matter of, we're going to decide whether there's going to be a continuation. We're going to trade continuation mode, or we're going to trade reversal mode. And I'll share with you when and how we trade one or the other. It's based literally off of, some of you may know this, some of you may know her, Linda Raschke. I'm actually curious, anybody has ever heard of Linda Raschke? Has anybody ever read the Market Wizards book? She is a very, very famous trader. She's been around forever. Lady's actually already 70 years old. She still trades. She loves trading if she's still doing that. Now, the reason why I bring her up is because I, as you guys know, I do trader fests every single year, where I get together some of the best traders in the world, just to share ideas, to share their worldview, talk about markets, shoot the breeze, do all the kind of stuff. And we have a great time. Usually we do these over the weekends, like once a year. And I was very fortunate to have her on, not just once, but twice. And like the second time I had her on, she was the keynote speaker, the last speaker of the show. I just, I opened up the mic there and I said, Linda, just tell us about your life. And she kind of was like, maybe she got relaxed. Maybe I just put her in a good mood. She literally gave us her whole trading methodology that she does every single day. This is like years and years of pit trading, board trading. I mean, she was on, Chicago exchanges. She was on the San Francisco options exchange. She's just seen it all. She trades Europe just like I do. And so out of her, she really opened up my idea to understanding that on an intraday basis, and what we do is I trade intraday. The market is like an auction theory. It's exactly like Sotheby's or I forgot the name of the other auction house, but it's basically like any of the big or Christie's, like the big art houses. And if you understand the psychology of the auction market, how people always overpay it at the top and kind of underpay at the bottom, you really can understand the mechanics of what makes the market move on an intraday basis. And that's really, really the foundation of how we started to create the system. And then finally, mainly because, first of all, I have zero emotional control. More importantly, I have like zero ability to hit a keyboard without hitting the wrong key. We've codified a lot of this stuff, and we basically created a lot of automated assistants to help me place the trades and put the trades, put the automatic stops and targets on the trades and manage the trades. So the whole system now is a full package. What you're going to see is, you're going to see my indicator. You can certainly follow it manually, and we'll give you some tools that will help you put stops and targets on them right away to make it easy. But one of the things we're hoping for is that if you really like what we do, you'll come join us down the road at BKForex. You'll be able to get the full robot working for you, which is really the key to getting the system fully functioning in its best form. Now, the key thing to winning in the markets comes from somebody who actually is not a trader, but whose philosophy and whose techniques we really emulate in our trading room, and that's Warren Buffett, which he said basically, rule number one of investing is don't lose money. Rule number two is see rule number one. And we're very, very cognizant of that approach because we trade with very, very strong risk control, and we also try as we might to take the best possible trades, just like an insurance underwriter tries to take on the best possible risks. We actually, I'll talk to you about this in my live trading room, really the bounce system is essentially an insurance-based model. It's the exact, we pretty much play the house, we play the casino instead of the gambler in almost everything that we do in our trading. And that's what puts the edge on our side in the way we do it. And of course, the key to that, the key to being the house, the key to being the insurance company is you never, ever, ever assume big risks. You'll notice that insurance companies will only write you policies for a certain amount of money. Nobody's going to insure you unless you're Lloyd's of London, which is a completely different model. And even they, sell off their risk. If you go to Allstate and you say, hey, I want you to insure my house, unlimited liability, 10 million, 20 million, 50 million, 100 million. I want you to, nobody's going to, they're going to say, no. Well, you pay a certain amount of money. We're good for $500,000. We're good for $1 million. We're not going to give you any more than that as our liability. And that's what pros do. Pros limit their liability. Amateurs don't. And that is the key difference to being successful, is to be able to truly limit your liability in 100 different ways. So the key thing, the other thing you need to understand is everybody wants to trade, right? I see this all the time with Kathy as well, because I always get amused. Kathy has a system. It's a really good system. I've seen the system work for not months, not even quarters, not even years. I've seen the system work for almost a decade at this point in terms of her ability to understand how intraday FX markets move, what makes them move, what's the best possible odds and the highest probabilities of success within that system. And that is what she trades. What that means is that there will be lots and lots of bad trades, lots and lots of bad setups within that system, because sometimes the markets isn't going to cooperate. Sometimes it's not going to be in sync with that system. That's natural. If it was always in sync with that system, we literally would own the market. You cannot win all the time and be in the market. It's a contradictory idea. The whole point of being in the market is that you're going to be facing risk and occasional loss. So you need to understand that a system is methodical. It's not impulsive. And it bets on probability, not luck. So that is the absolute essence of what both she and I do in very different ways, but very much the same approach, the same philosophy. There is no trade that matters, but there is a system that matters very, very much. So with that said, let's take a look at the two ways I trade my bounce system. The first way I'm going to share with you is actually the way we're going to trade is coming up in Asia. We trade what we call the bounce counter trend system. This is the first version of my system. And this is a system that we trade usually between 7 p.m. New York, which is coming up right now. In other words, we start to look for opportunities within this time frame, between 7 to 8 p.m. New York, 1900 hours to 2000 hours New York time, or 0 GMT to 1 GMT. Basically midnight in London, but 7 in the morning and 8 in the morning in Singapore and Australia. So if you're in Europe, this is really it's a hard time to trade this unless you're a complete trading junkie. If you're anywhere else in the world, it's actually the greatest thing to trade because this is one of the best, highest probability things that we can do. Let me show you how the whole system works. So what we do on step one is we let price establish a range, and what you will see, this is my bounce indicator. This is just part of my bounce indicator. On the top line is the green is the high of the day, the black line is the middle of the day, the red line is the low of the day. Now what's so super cool about this indicator is those lines are dynamic. They're going to jump up and down as price goes up. They're not going to stay the same. So they're recalculated on every single bar, on every single new price movement, and depending if there's new highs or new lows, they're going to change those values, which is going to drive our contingent ideas behind it. On step two, what we're looking for is if the price turns red at the high, right over here, at the high of the day. So we have basically the bounce counter trend sells highs, buys days lows. If you want to sort of summarize this, I buy the day's lows, I sell the day's highs. And I do this in a very methodical fashion. I don't just simply say, oh, it's the high of the day, I'm going to sell it. I look for the first sign of weakness. And the first sign of weakness is our momentum indicator turning red. So if the momentum indicator right over here turns red, that shows us the top may be in, we're ready to short. And we're going to short over here on this candle, on the close of this candle. And then on step three, we're going to trade this always with a 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio. Now, depending on the instrument, the stops and targets are going to be different. In this particular case, we're trading. It's not a webinar unless you hear sirens in my house. Okay, we're going to let the trucks go by. By the way, the single greatest trade, the highest probability trade in the world, because literally I've never broadcast a webinar out of New York City that did not have one siren. Sometimes we get 3 sirens, which is the truck, the police, and the ambulance all at the same time. So that's by the way the truest bet in the world. There's only 3 things in the world that are true: death, taxes, and sirens outside of my house. Anyways, for the US 30. We trade. This is the Dow Jones. We trade that with a 40 target, 40 stop. That's our ratios for the intraday basis. And we trade with a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. Now, why does this idea of selling tops, buying bottoms work really, really well in the Asia session? Because most of the time, Asia is what I call dealer's session. There's very little, it's quiet, right? It's quiet. There's very little continuity. There's far less retail flow, because really, where's all the speculators in the world, like really big speculators, really big hedge funds in the world located? They're located in London and they're located in New York. And those guys wake up, in London and New York, and they start moving the markets. That's when you get continuity. But in Asia, what happens is dealers pretty much trade amongst themselves, and amongst themselves, they basically want to run high. They want to run stops to the top, They want to run stops to the bottom and take it back up and down. Now, there are absolutely exceptions to this rule. When you have super strong news, when you have, especially like let's say after a FOMC day, or you have, I remember like, about a decade ago, Dubai blew up, right? And what was it? It was even more than a decade ago. I think Dubai had some kind of a default, and the euro went absolutely nuts, like on Thanksgiving Thursday or Thanksgiving Friday, because Thursday markets were closed. And I was like in a hotel in Boston at my parents' house, and had to broadcast to CNBC because they were all going nuts trying to understand what was going on. So yes, occasionally you're going to get continuity and big moves, but those are they're exceptions that prove the rule. That most of the time you get very, very quiet markets. As a matter of fact, the interesting thing is today is a holiday market, right? That means there was no participation in New York. And if you look at the whole day's market today, I'll show it to you in just a bit. It's the exact same thing as Asia trade. If you bought highs, sold lows all day long today, you just made money like it was no yesterday. It was just bank. You could have banked every single trade, because holiday trade is Asia trade. That's how you got to think about it. And in that type of regime, you want to sell tops, buy bottoms. And of course, just in case it's not obvious to you, we are trading the 1 minute chart on our special bounce protocol. Now, I'm sure that I'm going to get bombarded with questions, and I'll be happy to answer them now and then in my live session. Can this be traded on longer term charts? Can you trade for bigger things? Can you trade other things besides US 30 and the NASDAQ with it? The answer is yes. The thing is, we trade what works best. It's not that those things, you can't trade any of those other instruments. It's just that this is optimized for these particular instruments. This is what creates the best alpha for us, and that's what we focus on. You're certainly free to experiment with all sorts of other things if you want to, because these ideas are consistent on a longer term basis. They're fractal in nature. But for us, in trading the intraday equity markets, this is just manna from heaven. We love it. So this is an example of buying the lows here. You see the time here is 19:30, which is 7:30 p.m. We hit the lows. We buy the greens. We buy the green momentum. It takes a while. It's going to take sometimes 2-3 hours for the trade to clear, and boom, 40 points. My favorite thing is I lay down the trade. I go to sleep. I wake up in London. Boom, money. I love it. Almost every day. If I did nothing but that, I'd be a happy puppy. But of course, traders got to trade, so we trade. We take much more risk. But this is really one of the best handicapable risks. And if you want to do nothing all day long, but just trade the Asia session trade for the contest or for your own eval. By the way, if you just want to do this for your own eval, you're gonna have a very, very good probability of just banking it as much as possible. This is NASDAQ. I'm buying the low. This is actually this is right before European trade. So I give myself, sometimes I'm an insomniac and I'll wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning, and if I still see that we're hitting the lows, we're getting the bounce off the lows, I'll buy the bounce off the lows, because the Europe is almost always going to reverse the flows into the other way. You're going to be able to to bank the move. So that's Asia session trade. It's reversal. It's relatively simple, as you can see. It's not complicated in terms of visualization, but it's complicated in terms of getting it all right and getting all those indicators in place. The next idea, and the idea that that's really the bread and butter trade, the trade that we trade all day long, and the one that you trade with me when we're trading New York on the open, is trend. We're trading trend. And the trend version of this goes something like this. So first of all, the best time to trade trend is literally London day, right? London opens up around 4 a.m. New York, which is 9 o'clock GMT. And, they go to the pub by the time New York hits the afternoon, right? So by 12 noon New York, you pretty much are done. Now, can you trade this from like 12 noon New York to 3 p.m. New York? You absolutely could. Is there some continuity in the New York session in the afternoon? Absolutely. Sometimes there's even great continuity. Is there amazing continuity when FOMC comes in? Absolutely, because those are exceptions that you definitely want to trade. But I'm talking about on a general basis. On a general basis, most of the move, one way or the other, trend, building, trend reversing, trend extending, is all going to happen between 4 a.m. New York and 1 p.m. New York. And that's where you want to concentrate your focus. And you don't have to do the whole session. You can do the early session. Those of you guys who are sitting here on on the West Coast, right? Like this is amazing. If you're on the West Coast, you see, you're in San Francisco, you're in LA, you're in Las Vegas, 6 to 9 in the morning. You wake up a little early. Come on, to have a couple of espressos like I do. It's amazing. It's like this is like the best time to trade. That's the continuity trade in the equity markets. Hell, when I'm in LA, I love being in LA. I'm in LA. I'm up at 4 in the morning in LA. The Starbucks in Westwood is open. I'm banging away. I'm happier in LA than I'm in New York sometimes because the opportunity to trade that sweet spot of the London Open and the New York continuity is really, really great. So don't despair if you find yourself at work during those times. You can do it early. And in New York, you obviously can get up early before work time and trade the London Open as well. So let's get to like understanding exactly how I trade my trend basis, because this is the really important thing. This was my growth. I would say my growth and my maturity. This is when I stopped trying to fight the market, and I learned to love trend. So what we do is we only look for buy trades above the midpoint. This is the high, this is the midpoint, this is the low. This is the buy zone. I would think of this as a football field or a soccer field. We're only attacking above the 50-yard line. We're only defending or selling above the 50-yard line. Or think of it the other way. We're shorting. We're attacking this way. We're attacking to the downside below the 50-yard line. That is it. That's very, very important. We do not take reversal trades during the trend times in the lower end of the trade, or we won't try to short in the upper end of the trade. We're only going to go long in the upper end. We're going to go short in the lower end of the trade. And here's the thing. Suppose we're getting short, right? And we get stopped out. And then the price goes above the midpoint, right? Instead of trying to fight this and say, oh, we're going to short again, it's eventually going to fall. We flip our bias. Let me repeat this again. 3 hardest words in the English language is flip my bias. Is that 4 words? I guess it's 4 words. As a trader, it is so hard to say, no, I was short, I'm wrong, market is rallying, I'm going to get long now, right? But that is what you do. And once we kind of flipped to that idea, it made radical sense for us in terms of really making us much more profitable. So I'm going to give you an example here of a short trade here. We wait. Here's what we do. We have a huge amount of selling. Oops, sorry. Come back to this. We have a huge amount of selling in our lower end zone, right? Everything is below the midpoint. We're selling. We don't sell into the red zone. We wait for a rebound, a little bit of a green zone rebound, a little bit of short covering, right? The first, burst of hope so that we can smash that hope into its oblivion. And that's exactly what we do. Now, amateur traders always love to buy that first, ray of hope, and they usually get smashed down to the downside. They always say, oh, it's gone down so much. Look how much it's gone down. It's got to bounce up. The other 3 saddest words in the English language is got to bounce because it's gone down so much. That is literally the sucker trade. That's absolutely the sucker trade 90% of the time. Because the real great trade is to then just simply wait for it to die again, and we just go right back in here on the short side and short the trade. And of course, that gives us a beautiful entry for a pure profit trade. Boom, 40 points, wham, bam. Thank you very much. We are done. That's the continuity trade. Now, you guys are so fortunate because just this weekend, I finally finished my Magnus Opus, my final version of this indicator, which I mean you'll see it in the video that I show you, which not just shows you where the buy points and the sell points are, but actually shows you the buy sell signals. So this is Dow Jones US 30 Friday, like the last big day that we had that we were trading, and you can see the buy is over here. It tells you exactly what the close is. Exit. We're trading 40 points, which is 40,000 ticks on ACAP because of the way ACAP calculates ticks. And here's the other cool thing. It actually shows you visually the winning trade is light green, the losing trade is purple, right? So boom, 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 boom. You can see, 3-1, and it just, it just keeps on going over here. This was earlier in the day. I think this was not Friday. This was, I forget what was the news. This was like CPI news or something like that. This is it's just an example that I am willing to trade news. I'm willing to blow myself up in front of news because the system is so robust that it will just write itself off. So here we are. I'm short here. I get stopped out. This puts me in a buy zone. The system is so robust because it does not take any of these trades that are inconsistent. In other words, we want the trade to be in the upper end of the range and be at least 3 candles above the midpoint before we give ourselves a signal. So you can see that all of this up and down movement did not trigger any more buy points. It just, this is the true buy point. So this triggered a buy point over here, made money, and and so on and so forth. And this was, I think, the final close. So and you can see, how many more greens there are versus purples. And imagine doing this not just on the US 30, but doing this on the NASDAQ and doing it over and over and over again. You have like, 10 trades, 7 winners, 3 losers, that kind of stuff. You are basically minting money, which is what we've been doing for the last 3 months. Now, what we've been doing here is, we took the $100,000 account and we've been running it since May. But, and this is what I really, really want to emphasize to you. This way, we've been working on the system over and over again, refining it. You can see there's a lot more volatility in the earlier days. When we finally, really refined it to reversal in Asia, trend in Europe and New York, tiny little trades, strong continuity, good risk control. Look at this curve. Kay was saying, I haven't had much of a drawdown. I literally haven't had much of a drawdown. I mean, this is ridiculous, right? This is it may be small. I mean, it may not look exciting. It's boring. It's like insurance-like product, insurance-like returns, but it gets you money. It gets you money all the time, day in, day out. That's the whole job. We try to make money every single day in our live trading in this fashion. Now, you don't have to be like, driving like a grandfather in, on the Florida I-75 like I do. I mean, I drive, 35 miles an hour. You can certainly pick it up and trade much larger, as some of the people in my room do. But regardless, it's just a formula for long, very, very steady success. And you can see that legitimately, I have a reasonable chance here to double the account, right? Double the account in a year. And that is really what is our path to helping you with Surge. Because imagine if you employed this strategy, learned it completely, became a lot better than I do. As many people in my room trade much better than I do. The students all become masters and trade with, better size, bigger control, bigger, more intelligent entry. If you could do that and you could have confidence in basically doubling the 100,000, look what would happen to you. You go with Surge, you have a $100,000 evaluation account. Year 1, you double it to 200,000. Year 2, 400,000. Year 3, 800,000. By middle of year 3, you're on your path to possibly $1 million, which is just astounding if you can maintain that kind of pace. And the most astounding part, the really ridiculous part of this, is you're not using your own money. You're not using the 100,000 of your own money. Using 100,000 of Surge's money, which means that you're only using $1,000, less than $1,000. What is it? It costs less than $1,000 to do a $100,000 eval to achieve this, right? And that, I think, is what's the most amazing aspect of prop trading, is that when you hit success, you don't have to even gamble with your own money to be able to achieve it, to get cash, house, travel, whatever you want. I mean, we all love the ability to have excess money, and prop trading with Surge really makes that possible for us. So I have, I think, spewed enough information on you. All of this is going to be recorded, so don't worry. You guys get a chance to see all of it, and we will send you the video as we go along. And now I'm going to turn it over to a much more calmer voice and someone who doesn't trade like a maniac like I do. And she'll walk you through what she does. And you could really, and quite a lot of people in our room actually trade both, because they like the personality changes that we offer you. So Kate, go ahead, take it away.
Right. So thank you. I hope you're excited about Boris's strategy because I think it's a really powerful way to create long-term, wealth, and it goes far beyond just the trading contest that all of you have signed up for. But let me now tell you about my trading strategy. So my trading strategy is known as ZIP, and ZIP basically is a momentum-based trading strategy. It trades off of 1 hour charts. I use it exclusively for FX, but it also works pretty well in gold, in indices. Now, with gold and indices, you have to use different parameters, of course, but if you put our indicators on your charts, I always encourage people to kind of do your own due diligence. Look for the setups and prove to yourself how well that they can work on different asset classes. So ZIP is a momentum-based strategy. Now, I've been trading since 1999, actually before that, because when I was in college, I was day trading stocks, but I've been trading Forex since 1999. And I think that, the one thing that I take away, and the one thing that I think, has really made a huge amount of difference in my trading over the past few decades is that I am a trend trader. I believe that the trend is truly your friend, and the trend is truly your friend when you have momentum on your side. As many check marks as possible that can, support your trade and support the direction of the trade. And that's what we look for with ZIP. And that's what we try to encapsulate in the ZIP trading chart. So ZIP is designed to be simple to understand. It's designed to help you quickly identify trades, and it prevents impulsiveness. So if you take a look at this chart, what you'll see is that, very clearly the chart is clean. There's only, there's only two real things to pay attention to, which is the indicator line as well as the background color. And I'll share more information on that, but it is designed to be simple and easy to read and quick to identify trades. So let's talk about ZIP. In terms of ZIP itself, let's start by talking about the classic ZIP, the classic setup that you want to look for when you are trading the ZIP, using the ZIP indicator, trading the ZIP strategy. So step number one, with ZIP, what you want to look for is you want to, pull up the 1 hour chart. Now, some of you may ask, will this work on 4 hour charts? Will this work on daily charts? It can work on 4 hour charts, not so much on daily charts, but it is optimized for 1 hour charts. And as Boris said, I've been trading this strategy for a very, very long time. And I use the 1 hour chart exclusively. And that's where my true success comes from, because this strategy leverages on the momentum that you get in specific market cycles. So either during the New York session or the Asia session or the London session. So with 4 hour charts, that's just far too long. With daily charts, it doesn't encapsulate the same type of momentum that we would need to get the trade moving in our direction. So step number two. Step number two is basically you want to first look at the background. When the background is green, you'll be looking for opportunities to buy. When the background color is red, you'll be looking for opportunities to sell. So what is this background? Where do these colors come from? That's an important question to ask, because whenever people design trading strategies or show you a robot, it's important to understand, what's the logic behind this? And the background basically illustrates the longer term trend. So what we're looking for is we're looking to buy when the background is green, which is another way of saying you want to buy when the longer term trend is also positive. And you want to sell when the background is red, because you want to sell when the longer term trend is negative. The longer term trend is on your side. The next step is you want to look for the white candle to form. Now, the white candle forms when you have a chart like the one you're looking right now, where the background is green and the currency pair has closed above the indicator line. So it went from below the indicator line to closing above the indicator line. That's when the candle will turn white. That is your signal candle. So you want to wait for the background to form. After the background forms, then what you want to do is you want to make sure, this is extraordinarily important. Boris touched on this in his own trading, where the key to our success is knowing not only what to trade, but when to trade, because the strategies work best when, at least my strategy works best when there is participation, because it's a momentum-based strategy. Participation is absolutely necessary to, quote unquote, kick the trade into action. If we don't have any participation and it's a dead market, like for example, I did not trade last night or today, because when we have a holiday, there's very little movement, and any setups that happened today were false setups. So you want to make sure that it is within your trading hours, which I will share with you. And if it is within the trading hours, then then it's a valid trade. And then step number 5, if you see all that happening and fundamentals are on your side, you can take the trade. So talking about the best times to trade, this is extremely important for anyone who's looking to trade on trade momentum, trade our strategies, trade on a short-term basis. If you go to the next slide, Boris, the
Sure.
best times to trade. Oh, is this just
Oh, sorry,
this is an
sorry.
example.
Next one. There, here it is.
This is correct. Go back to the previous one.
Okay.
This is an example of a setup in Euro Aussie. So we looked at the long setup where we had a green background and a white candle form within a green background. Here you have a red background and a white candle form within a red background, meaning that when the currency pair drops below the indicator line, Boris, I don't think we can see the charts. Are you? Is that? Can you? Can everyone tell me if you're seeing the charts? If you see the charts, say yes.
I'm looking at our audience view. They see Euro Aussie sell. They see the Euro Aussie.
Okay, I think it's just Peter. All right. So when the currency pair Euro Aussie drops below the indicator line, that means the short-term trend has turned negative. And if it happens when the background is red, that means the long-term trend is also negative. So when you have the long-term trend is bearish and the short-term trend is bearish, that's when you really have the perfect parameters for the short trade, especially when it is in within the period, the periods that we trade. So here you can see in the Euro Aussie chart, when we get that white candle, it leads into a very, very large move lower. I mean, this is 154.60, and Euro Aussie bottoms out, pretty much around 153.70. So almost 100 pips. And the second time it happens, to the right of the chart, it happens at around 154.40, and the low that you see in this chart, 153.80. So a good 60 pips. So, really clean, easy to identify setups. So now let's talk about the best times to trade. The best times to trade ZIP are at the market opens. And the reason why these are the best times to trade ZIP is because oftentimes traders are looking at what happens a few hours ago or night before. They're waking up and they're reacting to it. And that reaction is what we want to capitalize on. And this works really well, especially when we have like a big event that happens the night prior. So for example, in North American session, we may have, the Federal Reserve raising interest rates more than expected. Everyone in Asia is asleep when the Fed makes their announcement at 2 o'clock New York time. When they wake up, they see what happened and they, jump on the trades to capitalize on the view and adjust their positions to capitalize on the view. And that's what we're trading. So ZIP works best. And when I trade ZIP 2 times a day, there's actually 3 times that ZIP a day that ZIP works really well, but I obviously need sleep, so I don't trade the London session. So tonight, after our webinar in an hour, I'll be looking for my Asia Open ZIP trades. And I usually release my Asia Open ZIP trades at 8 p.m. New York time. And I'm trading ZIP between 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. New York time. Now, oftentimes I just lay on my positions right at 8 p.m. and then we see how they go and we manage them to about 11 p.m. and then I might carry some of them overnight. Then at the New York Open, I lay on my trades at 6:15 a.m. about 6:15, 6:30 a.m. New York time. And those are the trades that I will hold until right before the New York equity market open. Now, oftentimes I don't hold them that long because they usually resolve themselves sooner than that. But I'll look for zip setups, and they usually are pretty valuable at the Asia Open and the early New York Open. They're also, and actually in some ways even more successful at the London Open. Now, as I said, I'm asleep during the London Open, so I don't trade that time. But if you see a zip setup form between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. New York time, that can be a very, very powerful signal. So there are some other variations of zip that I also trade. The first one is what I like to call the early zip. The early zip, if we take a look at the charts, is basically when the currency pair, we don't have a white candle, but the currency pair drops below the indicator line, and then the background changes color one candle later. So there's a slight lag. So here in this Aussie dollar chart, you can see where my arrow is pointing. To the left of the arrow, at the last green shaded area, you see the candle drop below the indicator line. So it's moving, it's telling you that momentum on a short-term basis on a 1-hour chart is shifting to the downside. But you don't have the green background yet, so it's not the red background yet, so it's not a valid trade. But the next candle, we get the red background. So we get what I call the early zip, the early drop. And that's when you have the long-term trend shift and move in sync with the short-term trend. Now, as I said, I come into the markets at 6:15, 6:30. So basically, I'm trading probably the first green candle that you're seeing right next to the two red ones.
One?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, the first green candle. So I'm trading the first green candle. I'll hold the trade for the New York Open, and it does give me a little bit of pain because it does pop up for a little bit, but then it really crashes, doing exactly what it should be doing, which is extending and continuing the bearish trends that it had started to develop during the European session. Let's take a look at another example. Here's another example. And here we actually have, a couple different setups. But the first one that we're looking at is the early zip. So this is dollar CAD. You can see background is green. We do have a white candle, but that's not a valid trade because if you look down, that's 6 p.m. New York time. We're not trading zip during 6 p.m. New York time. So we trade zip at 8 p.m. New York time. So we're watching the charts. Dollar CAD drops below the indicator line, and we don't take a trade. Then the background turns red, so the short and long-term trends have shifted negative. And at 8 p.m., you get that huge big red candle. So on that close a huge big red candle, it's time for me to trade. So I sell. It stalls for a little bit, which is fine, and then it crashes lower into the European Open and hits my profit targets overnight. And on this chart, you also see a buy signal, but that is a failed buy signal. And it's a failed buy signal and a trade we would not have taken because it occurred at 10 a.m. Now, knowing when to trade is just as important as knowing what to trade. 10 a.m. is like the worst time to trade. 10 to 12 is when we get the biggest reversals. Oftentimes what will happen is at 10 a.m., right after the New York Open, you get a burst of price action. And you think, we're getting a breakout, let's jump on it. And 9 times out of 10, it turns into fake out. And the reason for that is because you're running right into the London close. So you get that huge pop over, you're thinking, really great, time for a breakout, let me buy this huge white candle. Wrong, because you're going into the London close, people are dumping their positions and squaring up the London close. And you actually see reversals much more than continuations right around the 11-12 mark. That happens so often. That's even the tradable.
Isn't that because of the fix, Kay?
What?
Isn't that because of the fix as well? That because
it's all of it. And so, you get a lot of fake outs. It's much smarter to fade starting at 10:30, any of the big moves you have, New York time, than to follow. Right. And so, on the right-hand side of the chart, you also see a buy signal. But that is also, that happens, I think, right around 8-ish. So you get a little bit of a continuation, but it's pretty much right at the tail end of my trading time.
It's really interesting because like for you, you're done before I even start. Like my continuation time starts, New York Open. That's like when everybody starts to trade equities. By that time, the FX market is kind of done with most of the move. It's really interesting.
Yeah, and that's what I tell our members. When I'm done trading, go trade with Boris, because you can continue to make money, because my trading's done, but he's just beginning. Now, the last zip variation is actually one of my favorites, and I love to see this, double zip. So what double zip looks like, if you go into the next slide, is double zip is exactly what the name says, which is you see two zip setups form. One may be outside of our time frame, one might be right in our time frame. So you can see the first zip setup forms while I'm sleeping during the European session. And then the next zip setup forms right after 6 a.m., so like 7 a.m. or something like that. So we get a double zip. Double and triple zips are the most powerful setups that I love to see, and especially when they're occurring during my time frame. And so here you see the first one happens during European session. It's a false signal. I wake up during the New York session. I see the double zip confirming that the bearish, it was in a downtrend. It tried to move back up, totally lost its momentum, went back down, formed a zip sell signal. The second one, you sell, and that becomes the true move of the day. It becomes a very, very powerful move lower in Kiwi CAD. And I love to trade. This works so well for currency crosses. If someone's asking, what currency pairs do you trade with? I love trading in pretty much everything except for the pound pairs, because my stops and limits are too tight for pound pairs. And also pounds is extraordinarily volatile, but I love, all of the other majors. I love Euro Aussie, Euro Kiwi, Kiwi CAD, Kiwi Swiss, everything else.
Yeah, you especially trade, like, unlike people who just trade majors, Kathy really makes a lot of her money in the out of the way currency pairs that not a lot of, like CAD Swiss is not somebody that rolls off the tongue for people, and she makes a ton of money in that. Euro Kiwi, also not really a super popular pair, but she makes a lot of her P&L.
Why? Because these currencies, when you take the dollar out of those currencies, there is a pure reflection of strong versus weak country. So either, Canadian labor market numbers are so great, everyone's rethinking whether the Bank of Canada is going to continue to tighten, or Eurozone data has been so terrible, everyone's talking about recession. When you pair two currencies paired together, that you remove the dollar part, you get much more stronger and cleaner trends sometimes, because of the pure reflection of how one country is doing versus the other. So let's look at another example. So this is the triple zips. I love double zips, but triple zips are even better. This is Euro Kiwi. 1, 2, 3, triple zip forms, and that becomes a really nice, well, it comes a shallow move, but still a clean move with very little retracement, which is what we want to see. And then later on at the New York Open, on the right-hand side, you see the other white candle, also a beautiful Euro Kiwi zip sell signal. So that's how I trade zip. And that's how I use zip to meet our trading goals. My trading goal is 100 pips a week, 300, 400 pips a month, 3,000 to 4,000 pips a year. Having a trading goal has really transformed my trading. It's one of the most important things that I did for myself and for our members, because by having a target, it really affects my trading, because usually I'm much more aggressive in the beginning of the week trying to meet my target. And once I've met my target, I trade much more defensively to try to protect profits. And it gives me a plan of action. And that's something I think is very important if you want to become a serious trader, and learn to not only, to win this contest, but also, pass your audition and start making real money, as Boris pointed out, trading Surge's money. So with Zip, we have made money, 18 out of the last 19 months, 28 out of the last 32 weeks, 87% positive weeks, 94% positive months, very low drawdown, because Zip, even if it hits a tough day or a tough week, always comes back, and it's steady results with low drawdowns. And I've traded this for years. So that is how I personally have the confidence in my strategy. A lot of times people will say, wow, we had a really tough Monday, Kathy. How do you just keep on going? And I keep on going because I have traded this so long, and I focus on the statistics. I focus on my track record on a long-term basis. And that's where trading confidence comes from. Trading confidence comes from trading a strategy that you traded for a very long time. It's not about a one-hit wonder. A lot of times, as Boris said, these winners of contests I've analyzed the trades. They took one trade. They probably had 2 accounts. They took one trade in opposite directions, probably leveraged up, the wazoo, and then, won as a result. This is not a real trader. If you want to be a real trader, it's about, trading consistently and trading with the strategy that you feel confident in. And this is what we're going to do with you for the next 2 weeks. We're going to give you our indicators. Many of you ask me, how does this work on equities? How does this work on indices? We're giving you this indicator. Put it on your chart, load up the Dow, load up the NASDAQ, and look for yourself. Right. I shouldn't need to be convincing you. You should be able to learn and do your own due diligence and convince yourself. And that's why we provide you with the indicators. And so, we're going to provide you with the indicators. We're going to live trade with you. I'm going to send you emails of setups that you should have been seeing and then looking for, so you can learn how to trade. Just go back to number 1, Boris. So you should, so setups that you should have seen and, traded, so that you can learn what, to look for. And, because we strongly believe that, you can really learn by doing. So that's what we implore you to do. That's why, we're going to be giving you so many tools and resources over the next 2 weeks to not just, help you win this contest, but more importantly, help you on your trading journey to long-term success and profits.
Right. Correct. To help you pass the eval, to help you control your account, to help you really earn money for the long run, which is really our game plan. So just to review, we're going to send you all this information, but the way you want to approach this whole process with us is obviously install our indicators first. Make sure that you register for our market huddle on Mondays. Make sure you register for our live trading room. All the links are coming to you. We have your emails. We're sending them to you literally, an hour or two after this webinar, once we render the video. And we're going to send you the daily highlights by email, so you'll be sure to be able to get those into every single day. And of course, you're welcome to ask us any questions anytime that you like as far as all this stuff. Just to show you, I'm going to show you the example of my indicator. I'm going to go to the US 30 on Friday, right? The last real day we traded, just to show you how the indicator trades on a. Let me just make sure it's properly set up.
While you're doing that, a question that's being asked a lot is, do we need TradingView to install the indicators? Yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
TradingView is free. It's fine. Right. The free version is fine. It's very valuable. Yes, you do need it. And it's just a little bit more to learn how to trade well. And I
actually show you on the free version how to install the indicators. By the way, so here's I'm basically trading. This is the replay of my signals on Friday afternoon on the US 30. You can see. So here's a sell signal. Remember, we're underneath the midpoint. So this banks for 40 points. This sell signal stops me out as we start to reverse. This is the critical thing. We start to reverse back up to the upside, right? This is the key, as I said to you, about being a good trader. You change your bias when the market changes. So now as we reverse, we go to buy signals. So now we get long over here. Here's another 40 points. This is like, what, 10:40 in the morning, an hour and a half. We're already 80 points into the money. Get stopped out on a retrace, go back in, boom, another money. Take another signal on the upside. Notice we're only taking buys because we're above the midpoint. And here's, I think, the final trade of no, it's not even the final trade of the day. This is just the midday trade. So we're long, it takes a long time, stops us out. Next one, come back up, boom, boom, boom. and then I think we have one more trade before the day ends. And it's very cool. I mean, I hope you guys really like the visuals. You can really see, the winners popping right up, right? You see, it's all very, very intuitive. You can understand what's winning, what's losing. You can play it back yourself. You put the indicator on, you hit the replay button, you can go back and trade it. Having said this though, I will say this. Yes, TradingView is free, but as I say to you in my video, if you want to be even remotely a serious trader in this business, you need to have just the cheapest version of TradingView, because you can only, if it's free, it really limits your ability. You can only have one indicator at a time. They put a lot of ads on there. It's not worth it. Spend the $15. It's nothing. You're looking to make to trade a $100,000 account. You can spend $15. We don't, trust me, we get nothing out of TradingView. We are not in any way, shape, form remunerated. It's just that this is the default charting software for the retail world. It's so good, and our stuff works super well on it if you just simply go to the to the first version. So once you go to the first version, you can use the replay button, and you can literally see how my indicator trades over the past couple of days, past couple of weeks, whatever you want to go back on. And that will give you a lot of confidence to understand the mechanics of the strategy. I spend a lot of time doing this, so I hope you all appreciate this. I can't tell you, this looks very simple, but it's a lot of complicated code to get this working. Anyways, I hope you guys really enjoyed this. Do we have some questions we need to answer, Kay, or is everything pretty clear to everybody?
There are just a bunch of questions about MT4, MT5. Can we use MT4, okay. MT5?
So you're trading on MT4 when you're trading the trading contest, and actually one of the things that I'm going to make available to you is we have like a one-click execution tool that is pre-configured to the way Kathy trades, which is like with a 30-point stop and a 20-point target. We're going to make that available to you, so you'll be able to use that on your MT4 platform to use it. So the way real life works in real life is you find your signals on TradingView, you execute on MT4, right? That's just sort of the way the whole speculative, the whole retail trading world is set up these days. For those of you who get very deep into my bounce strategy and you really want to get serious with me on the live trading, yes, we have a fully like a real fully automated EA that does all my trades, that works for me. They can do a lot of this stuff for you. But you don't need to do any of that stuff. You can just simply use point and click and answer a lot of these trades. So people are saying they've tried Smart Chart again, but now it's time to use TradingView. For those of you who have not, for those of you who are seeing TradingView for the first time, this is 500 million downloads across the world. Trust me when we tell you that this is the most popular. This is the default charting platform, and you can see how intuitive it is. You see, you see both with mine and Kathy indicators that it just makes it a lot easier to find the setups, and that's 90% of the thing. You find the setup, then you can find the strategy. How much is the yearly subscription to be part of the Zip family?
So, I mean, the way it works is that after your contest, if you sign up for a real audition with a paid audition with Surge, you get another month free of everything, not just the indicators, but you actually get our trading signals, our Discord, much more than all the stuff we're giving you already. So you'll be able to get another month free once you finish the contest and you sign up for a real audition.
Okay, some great questions here. Alan is asking me, can you trade DAX and FTSE on the contest? Yeah, you can trade anything you want on the contest. I don't recommend you trade the FTSE, but we do trade the DAX in my room, and DAX is very tradable. DAX is kind of tradable just like NASDAQ for us, so you absolutely could trade DAX if you wanted to. Again, key hours. You don't be trading DAX in Asia when it's like 3 wide. How are you managing turn of the market when the color indicator changes? Is there a specific take profit you mark to stay safe? There is no way to stay safe, my friend. There's just a way to stay controlled, okay? You stay safe by controlling your risk and by controlling your size. There is no way to avoid a stop loss. You see, I get stopped all the time. Kathy gets stopped all the time. That is just part of business. It's, if this is a very important lesson we hope everybody learns. we are not right 100% of the time. As I said, if we were right 100% of the time, we'd own the market. It's unrealistic. You don't need to be right 100% of the time, okay? If you're trading even money, you just got to be right 51% of the time. Casinos are right 51.5% of the time. They make $1 billion, okay? You just need to know that in the long run, you're going to be right. You got to trust the system, have the confidence in the system, have to trade the system. That is the lesson that we really hope we can impart on you. So sorry, what was the other one question there, Kay? Was there anything else?
That's just, I think, that's pretty much most of the questions. I do use fundamental analysis for my zip. We have a heat map that I'll be sharing. I share in the Monday huddle.
Which you guys will get that.
That is in the email that's coming. You'll see my fundamental outlook for the week. And when we do the live fundamental outlook, that's where we'll talk about, what we're looking for every single week. Right.
Question is asking about how do we set targets. It's a long discussion. I'll be happy to discuss how I set targets in my live trading. Kathy has her own methodology for how she sets targets. Basically, the whole idea when you're trading intraday is to find that sweet spot of realistically making the target while at the same time avoiding as much as possible the stop. In other words, giving yourself enough room for the target to hit without too much losses when the stop hits. It's that sweet spot that we've worked years and years and years on figuring out, and we do that on a day-to-day basis. The blue curve in the zip, the blue curve in the zip that people are asking about is Kathy's. It's the signal line. That's actually the signal line, and it's it's not just a curve. It goes up and down because it's dynamic. Can leverage be used in the contest? Yes, but the other thing I didn't even get a chance to say this. So leverage in Surge normally was 10-1, but it's 20-1 in the contest. So it's absolutely, you can definitely use leverage.
All right, I think we've covered most of the questions. If you have questions, you can always email us at Kathy or Boris at BKForex.com. We also have a contest chat channel in the Surge Discord, and we'll be in there answering any questions that you may have. So feel free to, as you're watching this video, if you're watching this video on demand, feel free to post any questions there, and we will be answering the questions when we see them.
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. All right. Yeah, and Jenna is on screen. She came back to join us. So, hi.
I just want to say thank you to Boris and Kathy. You guys, I don't even know if you guys know what a valuable asset that we are bringing to our traders this month. They are so knowledgeable and are just such industry veterans that I'm sure that every single person that's attended the webinar is walking away with value already, and it's only just the beginning. So thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Boris. We appreciate you guys so much and are excited for everything that you're going to transfer to our traders. And we really wanted just to bring value to our traders and for the contest participants be able to walk away and feel like they've gained knowledge in the markets and how to navigate that. So thank you guys so much. Also, thank you to every one of the participants for joining us. I know you guys are walking away with a ton of value, and I hope you're excited to start trading tomorrow with Kathy in the morning. The contest kicks off tomorrow morning, so do not miss that opportunity to get your first trades launched. Can't wait for each one of you guys to move on to a funded SurgeTrader account and start making money and splitting profits with us here at SurgeTrader. So thank you again for joining us. Again, registration ends tonight, so contact all your friends, tell them they're missing out if they're not in it. We'll see you guys tomorrow for live trading.
Absolutely, and we'll see you in the pit at the end of the week. We'd love to see you. Thanks, Jana. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Take care. I'll be emailing everything out to you within the next hour or two. Have a great night. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.